Lighten up, she declared at our Sunday brunch. I want the primary suite redone when we settle into your fancy new place. My brother flashed a grin. It's only fair. We're staying there for the long haul. Everyone chuckled. A day later, my mom called, frantic. Oh no, Max. What's he sharing on video? I'm Max, 32, the eldest son, the go-to fixer. The guy with a spreadsheet for everything, rent slips to bulb wattages. I work in project management, which mostly means I say, we agreed on Wednesday until Wednesday arrives. I pack my lunch, clear bills on time, and keep a folder on my laptop called Files I won't send to family. Learned that one the tough way. My family's loud. Mom raised us after the split. She's kind, nervous, and stashes birthday candles for emergencies. My younger brother, Brandon, is the golden child. He's got a YouTube channel he calls his brand. His girlfriend, Leela, claims she's his manager, meaning she films him from the sofa and urges him to amp up the vibe. They're magnetic, the kind of charm that makes people hand them stuff. I saved for 8 years, night courses, extra shifts. The jar on my counter had a silly label home because naming it made it real. In March, my offer on a new build was accepted. The agents called it high-end because it's got a kitchen island and closets big enough to need their own address. I told maybe 3 people. Mom wept. She sobbed harder when I said, I'll stay nearby. I'm not moving to Mars. Then she told Brandon, naturally, she wanted us close. We're a unit, she says, like units don't have sidelines. The first spark hit at a Sunday brunch at a spot that charges extra for syrup. Mom invited everyone. Casual, she said. It wasn't. Leela arrived in shades like she was dodging photographers behind the mimosa stack. Brandon ordered 3 dishes for content. I just wanted eggs and to get through it. Mom couldn't hold back. Max got the house, she said, gripping my wrist like she needed grounding. People clapped. Leela leaned back, smirking. Lighten up, she said, tapping her glass with a spoon. I want the primary suite redone when we move into your fancy new place. She didn't grin to show it was a jest. She said it like ordering a latte. Brandon beamed like he was handing me a favor. It's only fair. We're staying long-term. Plates clinked. Someone laughed too loud. Mom did that anxious chuckle that means don't argue in public. My aunt muttered fancy pants into her coffee. I stared at my food, feeling my jaw tighten like it does when I'm about to set a limit and everyone pretends they didn't hear. I'm not looking for housemates, I said. Quiet. Steady. Leela rolled her eyes behind her shades. We're family, she said, like that settles everything. Brandon tapped his phone, probably drafting a caption. My brother's house reveal. Moving day. He winked. Content, bro. Win-win. I switched to water. Watched the bubbles rise. Reminded myself I could walk away anytime. Mom patted my arm. We'll figure it out, she whispered, which usually means you'll cover it. Everyone laughed again like it was all charming. A day later, Mom called, panicked. Oh no, Max, what's he sharing on video? Who? I asked, but I knew. Brandon, she said. He's reading numbers, your mortgage, and something about spreadsheets. He's live. People are commenting. I opened the app. There he was, my brother in a hoodie, streaming live, holding a paper that looked familiar. My budget. The one labeled home. The ring light made him glow like a talk show host. This is what he thinks he can afford, he told the chat, chuckling. Check this line. Furniture $0 for now. What is this, the Great Depression? Leela laughed off screen. Comments poured in. My stomach sank. The folder. The one I'd shown Mom to explain rates. The one I left on her table because she was crying, happy and sad. Leave it so I can read it again. I muted the stream and stared at the wall. I could hear my breath in the reflection of the dark TV. I didn't act that night. Didn't answer texts. Didn't rush to fix it. I sat in the stillness, measuring the gap between my old habits and the ones I'd need. To get why a brunch remark and a live stream felt like a rug pulled out from under me, you need the full record. The one labeled habits, not chaos. Mom had me at 21. Dad left when Brandon started kindergarten. I was the helper kid, the one heating dinners while Mom worked late. I learned to bend. Bending becomes vanishing if you're not careful, and I wasn't. Brandon learned to charm. At 12, he got a neighbor to buy him a skateboard for a project. At 15, he got Mom to co-sign for a camera for school. When she couldn't, he asked me. It'll pay off, he said, hands open like evidence. I bought the cheaper one, told him to repay $20 weekly. He paid twice. Called me money obsessed. He filmed a video called Life with a Budget Ninja, took it down when I asked, reposted it when his views dropped. Small things pile up. At 19, I worked 2 jobs and took evening classes for a certificate. Brandon lost a collab to a guy who stole his account. He called me, crying. It's all gone, he said. I helped him draft emails, waited on hold, got it back. He thanked me with a story, props to my tech guy, tagged a random account, said he was keeping me private. Mom was always the mediator and megaphone. Family supports family, she'd say, eyes damp. It meant Max fixes it. When Brandon's rent was late, she called at 11:47 p.m. I'll repay you. She repaid $50 once with a grocery card. Numbers are my anchor in chaos, they're steady. If I can track it, I can hold it. So yeah, I keep a ledger. If that makes you smirk, you've never seen a shut-off notice slide under a door like a threat. 2 years back, Mom's place flooded. Brandon asked to stay a few days. I said sure. They brought 6 bags, 2 ring lights, a dog, and an air fryer. Days became weeks. Leela took the bedroom. They filmed at midnight. The dog chewed my cable. When I asked for $300 for utilities, Brandon said, "You're stingy if you charge family." Leela called me property manager. They left after 53 days. I know because it's in the ledger. Try laughing at a number you face every night. Later, when Mom's car broke down, I paid $680. No lecture. Just sent the receipt. Brandon replied, "Real brothers don't track receipts." I didn't respond, trying to be a real brother. That's how you get taken, by the way. Chasing a title someone already ruled you don't deserve. When I started house hunting, I kept it quiet. I crunched numbers like a pastime. Visited open houses solo, snapping photos like a weirdo. In December, I told Mom. She cried and said, "You made it." She held my face and whispered, "You don't owe anyone anything." Then she texted Brandon because it's reflex. Brandon's response, content. He wanted to film the hunt. I said no. He called me gatekeeper. Leela sent Pinterest boards of sleek, neutral primary suites. Said she loved a do not disturb sign for our space. I said there's no hour. She sent a laughing emoji. Max is shy. At brunch, when she claimed the primary suite, every small thing I'd ignored built itself into a backbone. I thought a public boundary would stick. It didn't. The live stream made it worse. Brandon wasn't just sharing my numbers. He was airing my life for likes and emojis. He budgeted exactly $1,200 for family support, he said, making a face at the camera. Leela gasped like it was a reality show. "Why limit it? That's harsh," she said. He highlighted closing costs and said he thinks this matters. "I'll just tell the agent I'm family." The chat exploded with ideas. Prank him by moving in. Set up a 24/7 house cam. Unbox his fridge. I wasn't ashamed. I was frozen. The kind of frozen where your hands don't work and you can't tell if you're gripping anything. Mom called. I told him to take it down, she said. He blocked me from the live. "Okay," I said. "What's your plan?" She asked, the old signal for how will you clean this up. Think I said sleep. I slept poorly, woke to 27 notifications. 3 were kind. 24 were strangers saying, "Share, he's your brother." 1 was Leela, "Lighten up. You're making it awkward by being awkward." At lunch, Brandon texted, "Don't be mad, it's just content. Also, we need to talk rooms. Our lease ends soon and moving in saves us like $2,000. Win-win." I called him. "Remove the video," I said. "It's up," he said. "You can't delete live, that's the point. It's real. You can unlist the replay," I said. "Or apologize. Apologize for what? You're getting a fancy house while your family grinds." "I grind too," I said. He sighed like I was off-key. "You've got main character vibes. Let us tag along." And Leela wants to meet a designer tomorrow for the primary suite. She's thinking marble. "No," I said. He laughed. "Bro, let go of control." I said. "I'm letting go of being your backup plan." He hung up. That night, Mom texted. "Can we meet? I think we need ground rules. Love you." She leads with "love you" when she thinks I'll get upset. I said yes. Set a time. Printed 3 things. A cease and desist template for privacy violations. A 1-page guest agreement from a lawyer friend. And a list titled "What I Can Afford Without Sinking." When people treat you like an ATM, you bring paper to talks. Words drift. Paper stays. The next day, the video's views doubled. Leela posted a TikTok of fabric samples. Caption, "Picking vibes for our new primary." Mom commented, "Proud of you both," then texted me, "Sorry, sorry, sorry, wrong account." I counted to 10. It almost helped. By the meeting, I was steady like a locked box. We met at Mom's place because she feeds conflict. She made a casserole, set out 6 spoons like spoons fix fights. The TV was muted. An old trick from when yelling was the soundtrack. Brandon and Leela arrived late. "Ring light in a bag. No filming," I said at the door. Leela pouted. "You're killing the brand." Mom hushed her with bread. "Let's talk," she said. She gave me that pleading look that used to make me mop up messes. I sat on my hands to avoid it. Put the folder down. "Ground rules," I said. Short. Clear. Brandon took the opposite chair, leaning back like this was a game. "Go ahead." "First," I said, "remove the video with my budget." Stop mentioning my house online. No address, no papers, no numbers, he smirked. You can't control speech. Free speech, I slid the cease and desist over. I can control private documents and personal financial info. I can file privacy claims. I don't want to, don't make me. Mom flinched. Leela's eyes did a full roll. It's just engagement, she said. Second, I said. No one's moving in, not you, not your dog, not your ring light, not for a week, not a month, not ever. If you want to visit, fine. Pick a date, stay for dinner, leave by 10. Mom's mouth opened. But no, I said, I love you. No, Brandon's grin turned sharp. You think you're above us, he said quietly, always have. I think I earn what I have, I said. I think you expect me to carry you. Leela put her phone down. Be real, she said. It's practical. We'd save $2,000 a month. You won't notice. It's a fancy place. Don't be weird. Third, I said, ignoring the pitch. If you need housing help, we can discuss a short-term lease in a duplex, I know. Market rate, signed lease. Deposit, quiet hours, no filming, or cut your budget for a studio. I'll help with a spreadsheet. Brandon laughed, making my shoulders tense. You're obsessed with paper, he said. You don't care about people. I kept my voice even. Paper protects people from me, so I don't resent them later. So I don't say yes and bleed out because I can't afford promises. He blinked. For a moment, something like understanding flickered in his eyes. Leela broke it with, you're so extra. Mom tried another angle. What about me? She said, soft, can I stay sometimes, if I'm lonely? Yes, I said, call me, we'll plan, you'll have a key, your own code, that's different. Brandon pointed. Favoritism, he said, like he'd coined it. No, I said, boundaries come from history. You don't pay bills, you take. You turn my life into content, you're not coming in. He went silent. His jaw twitched, the air tightened. He stood. You're making an enemy, he said, of your own brother. I stood too. I'm drawing a line, I said, between my life and your channel. Leela scoffed. Okay, tyrant, she said. What else? Fourth, I said, sliding the guest agreement to Mom only. Anyone who stays signs this. It says 2 nights max, no recording, fix what you break. It's not a trap, it's a guide. Mom touched the paper like it might sting. This feels so formal, she whispered. I am formal, I said, with my life. Brandon swiped the folder. Papers scattered. You're vile, he said. You act like we're strangers. You act like I'm a bank, I said. He pushed his chair. It scraped. Everyone thinks you're generous, he said. They don't see you tracking. I see you tracking. I track because no one tracked for me, I said, and because you count on me not tracking. Leela crossed her arms. We'll make our own cash, she snapped. We don't need your little house. It's 2,400 square feet, I said, because I'm me. She grimaced. Pathetic. Brandon grabbed his bag. Don't call when you need content, he said. We'll manage. I never called, I said. He turned at the door. You think you're the hero, he said. You're just bitter because we know how to live. I think I'm tired, I said, and I'm done. This isn't about payback. This is about boundaries. He flinched. He left. Leela followed, muttering. Let him go broke with his spreadsheets. The door shut. Sound returned. Mom sat still, stared at the guest agreement. I don't like this, she said. I know, I said. It feels like I failed you, she said, voice faint. I moved closer. You taught me to survive, I said. This is what survival looks like. She nodded, eyes down. He'll be upset, she said. He already is, I said. She set the paper down. Can I still bring candles? She asked, absurd and perfect. Yes, I said. Bring candles. The next morning I emailed Brandon. Short, clear, subject, no filming my life plus remove budget video. Body, these are my boundaries. Attachments. A real cease and desist from a lawyer I paid from my family support line item. A note that sharing identifiable financial info is a privacy violation, and a list of housing resources because I'm not heartless. He replied with a middle finger emoji. I didn't respond. I packed my plates in the silly label jar. I grabbed my keys, drove to my closing, and signed my name until my hand ached. The pen felt solid. The escrow agent said, congrats, and I said thanks, meaning it in a quiet way that felt like pausing at a threshold. The first week in the house was chaos, then strange calm. Movers in the driveway, plumbers. The builder pointing at trim like it was critical. Then the door closed, and it was my house making house sounds. AC hum, new wood creak. Ice falling in the freezer like tiny landslides. I slept on a mattress on the floor for 2 nights. The island looked silly without stools. I ate takeout on a paint can and sent Mom a photo. She sent hearts. Sent proud of you, kid. Sent a candle emoji. Brandon posted 2 more digs. A short touring an IKEA bedroom titled Designing Max's Primary for free. And a Q&A answering, would you move in anyway? With he can't stop family. The comments were draining. Some loved him. Some called him entitled. He loved both. I filed a privacy complaint. The platform removed the live replay in 48 hours. I didn't broadcast it. Didn't send him proof. Let silence speak. He He called 10 times in a day. I answered the 11th. You think you can silence me? He snapped. I think I can protect my private info, I said. You're a snake, he said. Mom's crying. I saw her yesterday, I said. We had soup. She has a key. Wow, he spat. So I'm the bad guy and she's your partner now. I'm hanging up, I said. I'll talk when you're not performing. He was still talking when I did. Leela posted a story tossing fabric samples in a bin. Caption: when family stifles your creativity. She tagged me. I blocked her and felt 20 pounds lighter. Mom visited Sunday. Brought lasagna and a bag of random house essentials. A first aid kit, duct tape, 3 tea towels with oranges. She toured the rooms like they were a gallery you could touch. It echoes, she said, clapping once like she could measure joy with sound. It'll fill, I said. In the kitchen, she hung a tea towel on the oven handle and I nearly teared up. Not over the towel, because something gentle could exist in a space I paid for without owing anyone's mood. We said her keypad code. She practiced twice. Whispered, I won't tell him, and I said, don't. She didn't. 2 days later, Brandon showed up, banged on the door, filmed himself banging. The doorbell cam caught his performance. He yelled, open up, property manager, like it was a gag. I didn't open. Texted, not a good time, no filming. He posted the clip with circus music. I sent one message, trespass again and I'll call the police. He replied, do it. I did send my lawyer a note. She drafted a formal letter, no contact without prior text. No uninvited visits, no filming my property, sent certified. I paid the bill, filed it. Work stayed dull, thankfully. People asked about the house. I said it's great and showed a faucet photo, which is safe. My boss said, you seem less tense, and I laughed because it's the right word. At night, I assembled furniture with an Allen wrench like it was a ritual. Boxes, manuals, screw to. Chuckle when I messed up, unscrew, retry. No one asked for cash. No one called me selfish. I slept. One afternoon, Mom called. He's saying he'll sue for emotional harm. I said that's not real. She said he knows and sighed. She's learning to let his noise be his. On day 12, Brandon texted, we can do a short-term lease. We'll respect you. It'll be good content, JK. Mom said you'd agree. I typed and deleted 3 no's. Settled on, I wish you well. I'm not your housing solution. Ask for resources. He sent, wow, then nothing. My house got couches, a rug. A dent in the hall where I misjudged a turn, and I didn't care because the dent meant life was happening. Sometimes late I scroll. Brandon's shifting his channel. He's pranking himself now. Got a fog machine, set off his smoke alarm. People still watch. He'll be okay or he won't. Not my bill to pay. If there's a lesson, it's plain. Track, write it down, say it clearly, let people be upset. Old me would have chased Brandon online, arguing in comments, drafting statements, apologizing for tone. New me bought a broom, swept sawdust, made pasta. Old me would have let family win as a word over actions. New me chose actions. Here's what I won't do anymore. I won't let anyone call me cheap for keeping records. I won't hear lighten up when it means shrink so we can step on you. I won't give keys to people who treat rooms like stages. I won't apologize for locking a door in a house I pay for. Here's what I will do. I'll keep a budget line for Mom, because love and history can coexist. I'll keep a guest agreement by the tea towels not to use weekly, but because it keeps me fair. I'll tell the truth when asked. I'll say no like I mean it. Brandon will have another phase. Maybe he'll mature. Maybe he'll gain followers. I don't set his timeline. If he calls without a camera and needs help planning, I'll help. If he brings a ring light, I'll shut the door. Simple, not harsh, clear. In my kitchen making coffee, I hear a sound I didn't know I missed. Not silence, something like my own voice not fighting me. It says, well done sometimes. It says, you did it. It says, stop checking your phone. Mom still sends too many emojis, still brings candles, still says we when she means you. I correct her softly, she corrects herself. We're learning. On moving day, I found the old jar with the silly label, put it on a pantry shelf. It's empty now, kept the label, not for laughs, as a record. This isn't about payback, I told Brandon. It's about boundaries, still is. It's also about something bigger, less dramatic, more practical. Saying no isn't a break in love, it's the structure. If you're the Max in your family, here's your pass. You don't owe anyone the primary suite in a house you haven't even lived in. You don't owe the internet your budget. You don't owe content. You can decide what goes where, who stays, and when they leave. You can be kind without being a doormat. I'm buying stools this weekend. Maybe the pricey ones, maybe I'll wait. Either way, I'm choosing. That's the luxury, not the island, not the square footage. This, the choice, the lock clicking at night. The clear line, the quiet that isn't hollow. Closure sounds like a keypad beeping green. Looks like a guest towel folded once. Feels like not bracing, no payback, just boundaries. and a door that opens for those who knock without a camera.